For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
What is so important about driving faster than anyone else?
A lot of people go through life doing things badly. Racing's important to men who do it well. When you're racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting.
Welcome to Apex Racing TV. Alex Simpson and Brenton O'Brien here for the PitTalkAsia.com GT Sim series. Brenton, round 3, Watkins Glen. We're taking a little post-race look back at this event. So far in the series, Charles Desir leads the GT3 category and Steve Bocade the C6R class. Sebring pre-eventful race. Those Corvettes really struggled out there with the cold tyres. What do we think? Much of the same again this week?
Well, it's hard for me to pretend I don't know what's going to happen here. I qualified 27th, so I'm not going to give too much away. I do tell you, though, it's going to be a exciting race. Keep your eye on the first corner. I don't want to blow it all completely for you, but yeah, I think the Corvettes will initially struggle with their cold tyres. So, yeah, as you said, Charles Desir leading the championship after a great round 1 win. Qualifying has already been run, done and won. We'll go through those grid positions if that's all right, AC.
Yeah, take it away.
Yeah, same with last week, Chandra Huang in the Corvette at 140.530. So 2 pole positions in a row. Wasn't able to cash in on last week's pole. Might make a difference today. Marcus Hwang, a great position for him, 140.8, so 0.3 off of Chandra's time, again in the Corvette. Stephen Bocade, last week's winner at Sebring, on 41.2, so he'd probably find himself a bit off the pace there. 7/10 off, followed by Shane Reynolds at 41.6. So, you know, the gaps with the Corvettes, you know, a lot larger than those with the GT3 cars. First of which is Marcus Lenderman of 41.938. So again, the pole for the GT3 series to Marcus. Charles Desir, our series leader, 42 flat, with Mark Lang in another Corvette, 42 flat. Kevin Huang, I believe, in the McLaren, 42.5. Warren Pickering put in a great race at Motegi a few weeks ago at 42.5 as well. Fany Lazuardy in the McLaren, 42.5. And Andre Martins at 42.5. So with those 4 from 8th through to 12th, all 42.5, just the 0.09 of a second separate them there. We've got, how many starters have we got? 35 starters, I think it is. Other notables, Brett Woods in 13th. Aaron Pierce, 43.217 in 15th. Scotty Goodman, Jacek Frazik. Sorry, young fella playing up. Jacek Frazik in 19th with the 43.8. Harrison O'Brien, a bit down on what he's used to with the 43.8 as well. Just the 3/1000ths between 19th and 20th. Bernie Weimer's 25th in the car, 25 in the rough. The roughs really seem to struggle here compared to the all the other cars. They just didn't seem to have the straight line speed. But a 44.8. Yours truly, 45.5 in 27th, and next to my old mate Mark Noble, a 45.6. So no matter what race Nobby and I seem to be in, we always seem to end up next to each other. Tim Ballinger sticking with the Ford GTs, and well done for that. 46.7 in 29th place. I think there's actually a couple of Ford GTs this race, so it's great to see their involvement back. As I said, 35 starters.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one. Unlike yourself, I do not know what's happening, so I guess we're going to have mixed reactions on the mic for this one. But anyway, without further ado, let's bring up the pictures. We're poised and ready at the start of this one. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this turn one. But yeah, let's take it away. Watkins Glen, round 3, PitTalkAsia.com GT Sim Series. Revs are building, and we are away here.
A great start by the Corvettes. Clean start up until turn 1. Charles Sierra White has already overtaken Lenderman. Deep under brakes. I'll let you call this AC.
Oh, wow. Typical Watkins kind of crash. Absolutely everything going off, ricocheting off that Armco. I need to switch it to the crash cam to see what's going on here. We're up in the chopper. People are everywhere.
Yeah, there's multiple crashes starting off with their pole man Huang. Just got it a little bit skittish on the outside, lost complete traction, went into the wall. From there, the chaos ensued. We had Mark Lang trying to get his way around, which clipped Charles Sierra, putting him into Shane Reynolds. And it's just in this type of race where cars are already building up to speed. Just an absolute carnage on the first corner, and that will affect the rest of the race dramatically.
I think we heard it more than saw all of it as well. I mean, we're sort of looking at Charles there, got involved with one of the Corvettes. Looked like he was perhaps going for a little gap that maybe not there, and a little bit of sideways action. And then, yeah, once just Watkins, whenever something happens there, then you guaranteed an absolute nightmare in that first corner. The Armco just pushes everything back in. We'll just wait for the guys to finish this lap. And
as a result, already in the pits, Mark Noble, Dick A. Lee, Harrison O'Brien, Scott Goodman, Brett Woods, Shane Reynolds. That's automatic toes straight away. So yeah, it's crushing for them. It really is.
Yeah, see, having a quick look at a Ford GT battle a little bit further back. Got some recovering Corvettes in there as well. Just waiting for everyone to filter their way around the circuit so we can find out what the current running order is.
Well, out in front you've got Stephen Bocade, standing lap of 150.5 with Marcus Huang in second. So these guys got through cleanly. Just that experience from last week, I think, paid off dramatically for them there at the start. Corvettes, I like the idea of them being in the series, but it's 2 races in a row now where it has compromised other people's races. It's just their ability to not being able to start properly. Marcus Lenderman has got through cleanly as well, so no surprises there. Marcus up into 3rd place with Kevin Huang and Andre Martin with Fany Lazuardy, so it's a complete McLaren domination there. So what's that, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th, I think it is, and now Jacek Frazik. So all McLarens have benefited from this greatly. Before our first non-McLaren, which is a BMW, of Vincent Brehm in 8th place. Brett Wilson in 9th, and there's at Min Park in 10th. Some fella O'Brien in 11th. That's not a bad start for him. And Min Park in 12th. So Yeah, it's a really scrappy start, and the McLaren's just dominating the GT3s.
Yeah, I think from everything I've figured out as well, the McLarens do seem to be the fastest in the straight line, where the roughs are perhaps the best coming off the corners, but and the BMW seem to carry the most amount of speed through. So I'm guessing this is a bit of a McLaren track anyway. Hence why we're seeing, I think, the domination here already. I mean, okay, the first lap incident didn't help any, but
well, if we just go on to where Kevin Huang is in 4th place overall, already a massive amount of lap cars he's having to deal with that are coming out of the pits. And Andre Martins, I'm not sure we've seen Andre to the series a lot before, if at all, in a very strong 5th place as well. So that's 5th outright, 3rd in class.
yeah, no, I haven't seen Andre. Definitely a new name to me, so we'll keep an eye on him, see how he goes.
Well, a strong start in a strong car. It's a very nice looking skin there as well that he's got. Fany Lazuardy, he's the one guy who, well, I don't think Kevin did as well, but they're stuck with the McLaren last season. Even though the BMW was heavily favoured, he stuck with it, and possibly finally for Fany, his waiting's going to pay off today.
Well, unfortunately, what we have had spoilt from that early lap incident as well is the kind of train driving that we normally see at Watkins, where people are biding their time, just trying to work their way up the pack. Lots of big drafts going on. We've already got a race that's separating out a little bit, a few little pockets of individual battles, but we've got huge gaps between some of these battles going off as well now. I mean, we're only lap 3 now, and Brett Wilson 5 seconds behind Vincent in 9th place. Some fella called Brenton O'Brien looks like he might be coming under a little bit of pressure from Min Park. Maybe we'll just jump on board and have a little look at that.
Well, it'll be constant pressure from Min Park for quite a while. But no, my little rough, considering I did absolutely zero practice, I was expecting to be talking about the race, not doing the race, and I thought I would jump on in my Demidov Innovations car, and I said 27th from the grid to 10th at the end of the first lap. I was very stoked about, but there was no expectations of staying there. But it's a bit hard to talk about myself all day, although it's probably my favourite subject.
Well, it's interesting to see that you actually you opted for the rough, even though you thought perhaps it was the weaker of the 3 this week.
Yeah, I opted for the rough wholly and solely because I knew I could grab a setup off of Mark Noble. Timothy Jackson, as you can see, is not racing this week. Being my Demidov teammate, if he was racing in the BMW, I would have probably jumped into the BMW. But no, I was very happy with how the rough went. I hadn't driven it in 2 seasons, so just such a small car compared to the rest of them. It's just so tiny. And I was commenting before to a couple of my friends saying that I think the rough was the perfect car for that crash because it was thinner than everybody else's, and you could just get through these little gaps.
Well, I mean, I was just having a quick look and see the cloud cover that we've got out there as well. So, look pretty overcast out there. I mean, what were the track conditions like? I mean, did you? Sorry, I don't want to turn this into a bit of an interview, but was the track quite grippy?
Plenty of grip and fast, and it was. Yeah, we don't want to turn it into you right, but the lap times were very strong and steady by most of the good guys.
Just jump back on board with Andre Martin, still sitting at 1 second behind Kevin Hwang at the moment. Those guys look pretty evenly paced. I think that's a back marker there, just following suit in the BMW there, just recovering after that incident. I just have a quick look.
Well, Kevin and Andre's doing some strong lap times, a pair of 42s, matching Lenderman's 42.6s, so McLarens are all showing consistent pace. But just up the front here, you've got Marcus Hwang representing Australia, not surprisingly, in the Corvette with a 42.2, with Stephen Bocade also representing Australia with a 42.2. Big part of why Australia's leading the the Teams Championship is because of this very reason. The Corvettes at the moment are being dominated by the Australian team, and that all goes towards the overall score.
Yeah, I think actually a couple of the national teams have missed a bit of a gig here as well, with not deciding to field the driver that they need to in this car as well. I believe it's one car, isn't it, that scores points. So
Yep,
the top finish car. So they need to get somebody in there. All these different nations are suffering in the overall championship because of that.
Well, they have had Huang, he still is Chandra Huang, in the car as well, and he's been our pole man the last 2 races. Just hasn't been able to cash in. So he's obviously got the speed there. Just has to get used to having cold tyres. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes, not just in this race. There's still a bit to go, obviously, and he's still in it. But the races after this, whether he can... We know he's obviously got the pace. Let's just see if he's got the nous to keep it on the black stuff.
I have to say, every time I jump, we jump on board on that Corvette. Pretty sure it probably drowns us out. It's so loud. Beast of a car.
Yeah, it's an awesome car, isn't it? I'm just on Chandra Yong's car at the moment. Our pole man, just no damage at all. I don't even know whether he had to pit or not. Just have a look at that. Yeah, I think he did that one. Yeah,
oh, he's got Spinner in front of him as well, and he can't avoid him. Who was that?
Oh!
I'm not sure who that was who he hit, but
Let's have
that
a look.
pretty much...
Oh no, and he's come back out in front of everybody. David Swan. That's not how we do business, Dave, but that's... Yeah, it's funny, we were just talking about Chandra and we've just witnessed that, and I can't go back and show the replay, unfortunately, but geez, Dave scared the crap out of a lot of cars. Peugeot, Scotty Goodman, Bernie Weavers, Brett Woods, Halabi, myself and Min Park just came out in front of all of us. And we've got
and actually there's another spinner as well.
Scotty Goodman.
Not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, he's. We saw the aftermath of it, and Swan's still struggling out there as well.
I think Scotty might have got a bit of a nudge from Peugeot there. Peugeot's car's just a complete mess.
Yeah, Goodman's is that's done as well, I think. Just trying to limp his way back to the pit, see if he can get his quick repair, I'm sure.
Well, a lot of these cars would have already had a quick repair from the first lap incident as well. So, gee, it's just dramas all around, isn't it? It's such a shame. It's such a great track, and as you said, just taking away from the everlasting drafting passes that you have here. But those who are remaining, keeping their heads down, hopefully will produce some good racing.
Just having a look at Frushik here as well. He is 1.1 seconds behind Brehm at the moment. He's got a Corvette in between them, so you can't quite get at him at the moment. Hopefully,
that's a recovering Shane Reynolds, so hopefully Shane will be out of both of their ways shortly and through.
Yeah, Shane looks quick enough, so he got himself past Frushik just then, so should be able to get through fairly quickly, continue that battle. Looks like Min Park's made his way past yourself, Brenton, as well. I'll tell you what though, it still looks like a good battle that you guys are involved with at the moment. There's a few cars around you as well. Bernie just behind. You guys know each other well?
Well, kind of, yeah. It's just one of those races where, I'll be the first to say one of the slower cars, but these are the races where you cash in. It's like Monaco in the F1s, isn't it? You always seem to have that one guy who's not normally up the front or, challenging, seems to get that good result. The track just seems to come back to the car a bit, and with all the carnage on the first lap, it's a great opportunity for the back markers, myself included, to make the most of this, myself and Bernie, and hopefully get some strong results by the end of the race.
Just back to fourth and fifth battle. We've got Martins and Hwang, so that's second and third in class. Actually changed around, haven't they, as well? Because it was actually Hwang and Martins. So yeah, and they've got who's that sat behind them? I think that is still a lap car. Yeah, Warren. So Warren decided to run the BMW this week then.
Yeah, I think as I was saying though, I think the rough was, probably actually I'm very sure it was the weakest of the cars, but yeah, it does the job. It was nice and sturdy, that's for sure. But Warren, from the disappointment of the start, a lot of work to do. Had a great result in Motegi. Was leading up until about a lap to go, I think. And then Charles Sierra took that win away from him. But Warren shows some good pace and obviously versatility in driving the BMW.
So anyone we need to watch out for who's throwing a bit of curveball with strategy this week, or is it just a straightforward one stop?
No, straightforward one stop, I would imagine. Well, actually, no, it's a straightforward one stop. Fuel strategy, just get to halfway. That's pretty much where you're expecting. You wouldn't need to go any further than that.
Pickering seems like he's in a bit of a tough place here. He wants to get past Huang here. He knows he can perhaps push on, maybe catch a few cars up ahead of him. There's a few guys still one lap down in front of him that he could perhaps have a bit of a battle with, but he knows that he can't do anything rash. So very frustrating position when you're in first corner mayhem collision, and then you can't really push your way up because you're worried about ruining somebody's race who's technically sat on the podium.
Yeah, it just compromises everything, doesn't it? And then, you'll be holding up enough now. We can see Fany Lazuardy slowly picking this group up, and soon Warren will have to be giving way to blue flags, which makes it even that more frustrating for him. But there's always next week for Warren, and like I said, you get to drop a couple of races. This is probably going to be one of them, I would think.
Just quickly jumping on board with our GT3 class leader at the moment, Marcus Lenderman. We haven't spoke too much about him today. Been in pretty much a race on his own. He avoided that first corner crash, obviously, and got quite a lead, and has been steadily pulling away. I say that the last lap the guys put in, Martin's closed in by about 1 second that lap, so I don't know if Lenderman caught some traffic. Actually he's just gone past it, so that's probably what happened there.
It could be just pacing himself off the pack behind him as well. He just looks so comfortable out in front. Just that genuine pace that he's got. A 44.4 last lap. Where are we looking here? That's on lap 9. So the best lap so far of 42.6 on lap 4. So maybe he's already just backed off a bit. Maybe he needed to save fuel. We know the McLaren seems to be thirstier than the other cars, so maybe he's just turned the wick down a little bit.
And our overall race winner, leader even, sorry, I haven't seen the results, I promise. Steve Bocade, still out there, still banging in the laps. Not necessarily quickest. I mean, Marcus was slightly quicker that last time by as well. So, but I think I touched on this a little bit at Sebring. He definitely is one of the most consistent guys in this class. He's not the fastest, as seen. He hasn't had pole position the last couple of weeks, but I have to say he's looking. I mean, we're only a third of the way through the race at the moment, but he's still looking really good for this victory. 6.4 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Consistency is going to do it again.
Just consistency. That's what you're after, isn't it? It pays off staying out of trouble and just running those. It's not just consistent laps, it's consistent fast laps, just not the fastest lap, I guess, so it's getting the job done.
Yeah, Marcus actually caught up another, just over half a second that time by again, so he is closing in on him, but I'm guessing he's having to push to the absolute limit to do that, and that's where the mistakes start to creep in. Just having a quick look, we've got an interesting little battle starting to form here between Halabi and yourself. Half a second.
Just a matter of sitting behind and just trying to maintain the pace, and even at this stage still learning about the rough. As I said, did virtually zero practice, and he was the first rough I'd seen, so it was a good chance to try and stay with him and see what we could do. So, no, it was a great little race between the two of us, and very clean. There was no contact at all.
Well, we seem to have lost. Well, not lost. Min Park. He's down in 12th place. So, yeah, not sure what mistake he made.
Yeah, he had a bit of a spin, I think it was, into the just coming out of the boot, from what I remember. But recovering strongly, no damage to his car. That's the same with Bernie. Bernie Weimer's also had a shocker of a lap on lap 9, dropped the 16-17 seconds in the one lap from a spin as well. So costly errors, like I said, these are the days where you can really cash in and make the most of other people tripping over themselves. You just don't want to be making those silly little mistakes that could cost you at the end.
Yeah, just actually jump back to the Bernie and Alex battle here. Again, just a half a second separating those two. They've got Charles Fisser, our championship leader, some 12.6 seconds behind them at the moment. Charles is lapping 3 seconds a lap faster, so I dare say he's going to catch these guys pretty quickly. Again, like I say, I haven't seen this, but looking at kind of the lap times that Charles is capable of, I would say he's got a good chance of maybe getting up to about 11th spot, maybe 12th. So that won't be too bad a recovery drive. I mean, of course, he'll want like a top 5 or something like that, but still, he's got half a chance of scoring some reasonable points. Obviously, we know Lenderman's in the driving seat at this point as far as the championships go in, but Dongwoo Gang's out there as well, so it's not going to be...
The Dongwoo Gang's not racing tonight. Neither's Mikko Nasi. Just missing those guys. It'd be great if they were racing tonight. But anyway, yeah, Charles recovering hard. He had a lot of dramas on lap 1. I think we'll try and avoid the question for Charles. What do you think of the Corvette from now on? Yeah, I remember.
Just as we were seeing on screen, actually, Alex putting a move on Bernie. Sorry, Brenton, continue there, mate.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's a fan of the Corvette, is our friend Charles, so we might avoid that questioning. We've got a battle here as well between, I'm thinking, 6th and 7th with Brett Wilson and Fany Lazuardy. So Brett's made a magic recovery here. He kept clear of all the mess at the start, as did Fany. I'm thinking Fany must have made a mistake because Jacek's really pulled away as well, so Fany maybe a little off somewhere. Yeah, 58.9, so he's had an off that lap.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Something off camera, but Brett's trying to take full advantage of that now. Down the back straight, he'll definitely pick up the draft here, even with that McLaren being a slight bit quicker. He'll still draft up to the back, and it's just all important to stay with him for this rest of this lap, and he might have a little shot next time by. Actually, didn't close up anywhere near as much as what I thought.
Sorry, we're going to miss that. Unfortunately, he just had a Corvette just spin right in front of Vincent Brehm, and Vincent's been lucky to miss that, but that'll scare the bejeebus out of him, no doubt at all. So Vincent running in 19th place in his BMW.
Sorry, Brenton, I must have missed something here as well, but I'm looking at the battle between Lenderman and Martin. So Lenderman making a mistake off camera. Again, we apologise, we can't bring you replays when we're looking at these post-race, and Martin's making mistakes.
Martin's hit the wall in the exit there, and Lenderman's back through, so a good battle here between the two of them. Don't know much about Martins, but it's obviously a very strong European. Name's Andre Martins. I'm not sure where he's from at all.
Well, let's not count out Kevin as well. He is not too far behind, just 1.3 seconds from these two that have started battling, so he's going to draft up to them if they continue that kind of action.
Lenderman just seems to have no straight lines. Lenderman's disappeared off my screen. Oh no, there he is, he's popped up again. Just doesn't seem to have any straight line speed at all, Marcus Lenderman. Martin's back through.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's got some kind of damage that we don't know about, Lenderman. Let's just see if we
stay
can...
with him here. Yeah, if we just stay with him, we got. This is a great little battle now for first, second, third in class. So I think this is maybe the Corvette detracts away from this. You know, just it's good to have the Corvette, I guess, but this is great racing here between the three McLarens.
Yeah, I think I just think it's the cold tyre issue with the Corvettes, because obviously they are so used to starting from a rolling start, and that's the big difference, is that they have got half a lap or a lap to get some sort of temperature into those tyres, so they don't suffer quite as bad as just on board with Lindemann here going through the final corner. And both drivers into the pits. Stay on board this actually. We've got Kevin continuing, so he'll take lead in the GT class, and we've also got Steve Bocade in as well. I think.
Well, this will be handy for both the McLarens. We both know they've probably got a little bit of damage from just scraping the wall. So with that free toe, yeah, both the leading Corvettes in as well. Bocade leaving the pits now. It's a good stop by him. Not sure the Corvettes will make it on the one stop. Lap 14, I reckon they needed to get to halfway.
I think Marcus Hwang's pit stop was slightly more impressive, down the gap by only 3.8 seconds, so he's definitely closed in a lot as all three of the leaders leave the pits. Drag race out of the pits, but Martins decides that he'll let Lindemann have the inside line there.
Well, change of tyres, so cold tyres. Yeah, Lindemann's just got that little early gap there, and it's considering they're right next to each other. Just let him go a little bit.
Yeah, considering he was suffering, I wonder actually if he was suffering straight line speed because he needed to save the fuel to get that in.
Yeah, it could be, but by saying that, I think Kevin's gone on to do that extra lap in the McLaren, so I'm not sure that we can say that.
Yeah, and actually I think, just a little bit of a timing screen glitch there.
Oh, a bit twitchy by Marcus there. Just seems to be making a couple of little mistakes, doesn't he? And I don't know if it's any pressure. I know Martins is there, but I'm not sure.
He's wide again around there, so he's going to suffer. And actually, Andre getting a great run. Is he having a little look? I think he's perhaps a little bit too far back.
Yeah, but gaining all the time, and just Lindemann just struggling.
Oh, who was that off there?
It's Lindemann.
I literally just jumped away from a second for a second, but just as we saw that, got back. It looks like he's waiting to recover. I'm not sure he's going to be able to. Let's just stick with that. No, he's retired out of the race. Kevin also exiting the pits now. I guess Andre Martins, yeah, where is Martins? He's coming around turn one now.
Start finish line, yep.
So it looks like Kevin's got the jump on, but he would have had the jump on Lindemann as well, so he'd have had both of them. So great work from Kevin, that one extra lap while those guys were fighting, and he's jumped into the lead of the GT3 class.
Well, what an unusual lap that was by Lindemann. It would have been interesting to have a chat with him. I haven't heard him do a post-race interview yet, but just what the problem was, it was just such a messy out lap, wasn't it? It was just one mistake following another and just pushing too hard, perhaps, not sure, but yeah, it's not what we expected, and that's really going to hurt him in his championship, obviously. And Charles Sierra has a chance here to make up even more positions from his disastrous start.
Well, I have to say, I mean, he was in the driving seat and could have gained the lead in the championship pretty easily, I think.
And I've lost. Kevin's still there. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it's completely swung back around to for Charles. I while we're just keeping an eye on the front two in the GT3 class at the moment, they're getting closer. So Martins looks racy actually, and we know that he was a little bit quicker than Kevin at the start of this race, closed him in and made the move. So we'll just stick with this little battle just while I'm having a quick look at the table. But yeah, I mean, all of his rivals for Charles are now out, and he's sat in 8th place, so he's going to clock up a load of points and actually move further away as Martins has a little mistake in the last corner.
Well, 8th in class for Charles and the last lap of a 43.9, so strong lap times, clear traffic in front of him. There's no one in front of him to worry about, so he's got a real good chance to put his head down here, make up even more positions, so jump in the top 10 at this early stage. There's still the 14 laps to go. He can only go onwards and upwards from here. So great recovery.
Just checking in with Steve Bocade. Looking pretty comfortable, built that gap back up to 5.4 seconds after the stop, so very happy out there.
Charles is in the pits. So that'll bring him back to the field a little bit. He's going to drop a few spots here, obviously, so must have had a quick tow, I think, on lap 1, so he's just got that extra lap out of the car. So short filling here, and he'll be up and away shortly, no doubt.
Yeah, that's yourself just popping past, and I think that's what it was. It was Lenderman joining and then reversing back into the pits. Not sure what the officials are going to say about that, but hey ho.
I'll say that his car's a complete mess, and probably should have got it fixed first.
So it looks like Charles has rejoined in 12th place, 2 seconds behind at the moment.
Buffet, yeah. Christopher Buffet's, just in the rough in front of him, in the 69 rough. And Bocade, just taking that lap off of Lenderman now. I think the Corvettes are going to have to stop again, though. It's not going to affect the race overall for them. Bocade very comfortably in front. He's really has been the class so far of the Corvette class, hasn't he? I think Marcus has got to be congratulated here for a really strong performance by him as well. 41.9 for him, his last lap, a 42.6 for Bocade last lap. So Marcus actually made a bit of a gain there. I know Bocade had that little bit of traffic. Not that you'd ever call Charles this year heavy traffic, but yeah, that might have backed him up a little bit.
You really do see those two just sort of ebbing and flowing throughout the race. And I'm not entirely sure that it's a slam dunk for Bocade at this point on. We've still got nearly a third of this race still left to run, so it's going to be, he's going to start looking in his mirrors with just a 2.6 second gap.
It's not a large gap, but it's one of those comfortable type gaps. And
Huang gets held up a little bit. Hwang gets held up just a little bit with the back marker there, and that's let Martin's right on his tail again. So these guys are going to go back at it.
It's just where you catch the slower cars, isn't it? It's such a big difference between just catching up to them on the long straight and actually benefiting from their draft, or at the bottom of the S's where you know you're going to be held up badly on occasion. So yeah, it makes such a big difference with your lap time. And Fany Lazuardy and Jacek have putting on a great little race here again. Just the consistency with these twos, 5th and 6th place overall, 4th and 5th in class. Those McLaren's very strong in this track.
Yeah, we see Lazuardy. He's always features there or thereabouts as he has a little look to the inside. Under braking. See that? McLaren spitting flames. Still side by side. Through the S's.
Hard to defend there from Jacek. So, yep. Nice and clean, let him through. There's still a long way of this race to go, and no doubt will set himself up for a good draft down this straight.
For a moment, Lazuardy goes a little bit defensive and then ducks back out and then back in again.
Duck again.
I know there's no such thing as the one move rule in the series, so I think as long as you're not actually blocking, you're okay. Didn't look like a problem to me.
I do get surprised that Barry Sheen used to be a big one. I know in the MotoGP class, back when they were the 500 classes. So don't worry about weaving all over the place to try and break the draft, because the guy behind you is just going to go where you go. So just keep it in a straight line.
Just having a little bit of a look further down, we've got Bernie Weemers on Pyjo as well. So battle for 13th and 14th. Bernie might get a little bit of a run this time down the straight. It actually looks like Pyjo's running really wide, so yeah, Bernie's going to steam through here pretty comfortably, is he? Roughy BMW. Yeah, no problem. Up the inside,
Yeah,
going into the carousel corner. Pretty straightforward Watkins overtake, that one. I have to say, the track does lend itself for some good racing and the good opportunity for some clean passes as well. We see so many tracks that the straights are just too short, and you really have to have the odd dive here and there. But yeah, Watkins is one that you can get cleanly through, and even if you are side by side, the carousel is so wide. It makes for great racing.
I know it's in my top 3 favourite tracks, and yeah, I don't know, it really brings the cars and the drivers into the track together, into the race together. It's fast flowing corners, just, yeah, as long as you can get your lines right and your exits right, you always got yourself a good result here, haven't you?
Yeah, I never really understood the people who said that they don't like the track. I mean, typically the tracks that I say that I don't like are the ones that I'm slow at, so that's all I can think it is.
Yeah, and we got Charles here, still continue to make gains here. He's right with Christopher now in the 11th and 12th spot. I can imagine Charles, look at the size of that BMW compared to the rough. It just looks like it's going to eat it. It's just huge.
Oh,
just
and
be patient there, Charles.
I was about to say, Chris gets very close to the wall there. Around the outside. I think even if Chris does hold it on the inside, which he can't do, yeah, there's a little look back around the carousel, but yeah, he just hasn't got the momentum into that one. So Charles up into 11th place, 6.1 seconds up the road for him is now Min Park.
And look at the gap he's already been able to pull on Christopher. He's already picked up almost a second, so his man on the mission is Charles Lazuardy, our series leader for the GT3 class.
I better jump back to the front of this race because it's starting to get a little bit tasty again. Steve Bocade, 0.9 of a second lead, make that 0.8 from Marcus Hwang now. So it looks like the C6R class is starting to spice up a little bit, Brendan.
Yeah, it is. And Marcus is really putting his nose in here at 41.9. What's his last few laps? Relap 21. Yeah, 41.8, 42.5, 41.9, 41.7. Going across the strike there with a 41.6 if you don't mind. So, yeah, he's putting in some strong laps here. Catching's one thing's passing another, and Stephen Bocade's, well, he's certainly caught up to him. Let's see if he can get through here. If he's going to get through, there's a great opportunity here. He's got a great run out of this. Maybe dropped off a bit. Yeah, just lost that second turn of the S's.
It looked like he had to get out of it because he was just drifting up towards the wall. He thought perhaps a bit better off trying to hold it flat through there and getting some damage.
Well, hopefully this slower car will get out of the way very cleanly. Yep, no worries at all there. Just fed in nicely between the two. It's a little bit naughty. Oh, and then gets out the way. Well done to whoever that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is in his demoed off car. Yeah, I mean, didn't lose too much time there. Still 1.3 seconds behind, so we'll keep an eye and see how this one forms. What do we got? Still got the battle for GT3 class as well. These guys still nip and tuck, nothing separating them at the moment. We've got Brett Wilson and Brashak there as well. So actually, there's some interesting little battles starting to form late on in this race.
Well, yeah, Kevin Huang and Andre still going at it in third and fourth, first and second in class overall. Warren Pickering, geez, a frustrating race for him. Gregory Ekkel, we haven't spoken about him in the Ford GT as well. So, had the 3 GTs racing today, which is fantastic. Leader of class. And Brett Wilson with Jazek now, nose to tail as well. Harrison O'Brien 19th, Brett Woods 20th, Mark Langer, host 21st. Geez, had some strong qualifying, Mark. I'd love to see him do well in a race. He's really never got it off the line at all well, has he, so far this series? Once he gets up away, he shows some pace, but let's just get it off the line. Hopefully next week, Mark. It just looks like he's struggling here a bit as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we've got to. Those GT1 C6Rs are just going to have to sort of pansy it around the first lap, lose the places to the GT3s, and just know that they're going to get them back.
Well, they could even start from pit row and just delete everyone, couldn't they? I don't suggest they shouldn't do that.
Just we've just seen a move. Brett Wilson, no, he doesn't quite get past actually. Frashak holds on to it, but still side by side here through the S's. Wilson's going to have the advantage for the faster left-hander, and picks up that position. So moves himself into 6th and what's that? 4th overall for class.
Yeah, and good driving by the both. I mean, you don't want to be getting too involved with fighting through the S's.
Frashak back up the inside into the carousel. Oh, there's not a lot of room there. Brett squeezing him.
Clean racing, good effort.
Good defending there from Wilson. He knew he needed to squeeze him if he was going to carry enough momentum through that corner. And Frashak has a little look into the shoe.
And Harrison O'Brien again must be frustrated from that first lap incident. Just, etiquette says just sit there and wait, but I'm not sure he's going to be doing that for the rest of the race. He looks pretty keen here.
Oh, that was Huang. Massive,
big hit.
Massive crash.
Moody clip there, Pickering again. Oh, like you said, it's just inviting. If you make a mistake that first corner, it's only one way in. It's just going to suck you straight back to the track. And that's ended Hwang and Pickering's day so quickly, and that's such a shame for Hwang.
Well, that's completely freed up Martins now. He's got no pressure whatsoever. 25 seconds to Lazuardy. So yeah, that's pretty much wrapped this race up as far as the GT3 class goes. Just a handful of laps left to go on that one. 2 great battles still going on. Well, actually, there's a few good battles going on there. Let's just jump on board with Charles Thissier. He might have just put a little move on one Demidov car, I guess, and looking to make another place here as well, Min Park.
Well, the Demidov car's smart enough to know that he's not fighting for the championship and shouldn't be getting in those championship contenders' way. So, obviously, the Demidov rough would have completely wiped the floor with Charles tonight, but chose to do the good sportsmanship. No, Charles far too fast at the moment. Had the later pit stop, cleaner tyres, and just has a faster car. So, yeah, he's all the way through. What's he up to now? 9th place and still looking racy. And has Halabi in his sights.
Yeah, you say that. I think what's Halabi? 8.1 seconds up the road. That's going to be quite a tall order to catch him. As what do we got?
44.2 for Thissier compared to 46.5. So he will, at this rate. That was
you're right.
Charles' slowest lap. Had to deal with some other cars. So yeah, he'll catch him. I think whether he'll get past him might be something different.
We've got who have we got? We've got Hwang into the pits now as well, so he's had his second stop a little bit earlier than Bocade. They pitted on exactly the same lap the first stint, so interesting to see. Let's keep an eye on Bocade, see if he ducks it in. No, he doesn't, he continues on.
Well, maybe the reason was so close. Maybe Bocade was more worried about fuel, perhaps, I'm not sure, but if he can keep going this far, he's not going to have to put as much fuel in for the next stop. So, you know, if it stays like this, it'll be game, set, match Bocade.
Indeed. It's interesting to see actually that Hwang come out just behind Martins, so technically Martin's sitting P2 overall at the moment.
A bit of a shout out here to Mark. That's a great looking skin on the Kimmy's rural fencing. He had some disappointment again on lap 1, like a lot of other cars in the car 29 KRF rough. Putting in a good effort again here this week, Mark Noble, Nobby, so it's great to see him out here. It's just, I like that skin. It's just such a clean looking skin. Putting in some good lap times here, a 45.4 last lap, so that's, yeah, putting in some quick laps here.
Yeah, good to see Mark out there. I know that he doesn't always get the chance to do the races he wants to do, so great to see him being able to compete in this one.
And we've got Bernie Weimers as well in the Redback Racing, just up the road in the other rough. So I think this is the third rough in class, up to 11th place from 25th on the grid, so that's a great effort, Bernie. Had a few dramas back in about lap 9, I think it was. Lost about 15-16 seconds there, so that could be costly for a possible top 10. A top 10 result here from, you know, that far down the grid would be an outstanding performance.
Yeah, Bocade's still out there as well, so he's decided that, well, I wonder if he's trying to run it all the way. Surely you were saying that they need to have that second stop, so we'll keep an eye. But yeah, that's another lap gone by, so...
Well, they got to lap 14 on one tag, so there's no reason he shouldn't get to lap 28. And we were looking at his pit stop compared to Hwang's, and I thought Bocade's was pretty slick, and I remember at the time you saying that Marcus's lap was even quicker. Well, maybe Marcus just did not put as much fuel in. Had to think that's what it is.
Yeah, it was just a splash as well for Marcus, just 5 seconds, that's all he was stopped for as far as I can tell. So perhaps decided not to take tyres, keep them nice and warm, as we know that's perhaps a little bit more favourable for the guys. So yeah, he's yeah, I can't see how that's quite right. Perhaps there's a little timing glitch there. That's way too quick. But I'm guessing that got split up somewhere along the line. So yeah, it's going to be difficult to tell.
It's going to be interesting for the last 2 races of the season, the 2-hour enduros. 2-hour enduros. Whether the Corvettes are going to have to take on tyres mid-race, and what kind of outlap dead laps will be, because we know that they suffer terribly in the first few corners.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think perhaps with the tyre, you know, they'll have some tyre warmers for the pits, so actually that won't be too bad. They'll be a little bit skittish, but for the most part they'll be okay.
And got to be Fany Lazuardy's best race as well. Up into third, second in class, I think he is now, behind Martins. I'm not sure I've heard Fany on the podium before. I know he's dragged out a couple of fifths, but looking, I believe, for a best ever result.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, good performance, good solid performance. Yeah, had that little mistake earlier on which set him back and lost a little bit of time, but yeah, overall pretty solid race for him. Just want to jump up to Thesir. He's on the back of Halabi now, side by side, down the back straight, coming into the carousel any moment now. Move done as well, so yeah, straight line speed advantage that he had there with the Z4 and the slipstream, straight pass through around the outside, up to 7th place. I have to say, what a recovery drive.
Yeah, fantastic job. He's just kept his nose in it the whole way through, and yeah, just with the downfall of Lenderman from that crazy outlap, I'd love to know what it was. It was Christopher Buffet just had a bit of spin, just lightly tapping the wall, just hits the wall, you know, lighter than a butterfly landing with sore feet, so there's not going to be any damage there to the car at all, but up and away again from 16th.
it'd be a disappointment, I think, to lose some places. He was up there quite a way. Actually, he's had a second stop as well, so that might counterweighs down to where he is, including that little sprint.
But yeah, just getting back to Fany, as we said before, he made that commitment last season to stick with the McLaren, and they were just getting absolutely wiped clean by the BMWs last season. So, yeah, this is his time in the sun, isn't it? He's finally looks like he's going to get a strong result.
Yeah, absolutely. I think not a moment too soon. Well deserved.
Now you've got Marcus in the other Corvette just catching up too, so might be speaking too soon here. 41.6 last lap for Marcus at 43.9, so Fany's going to need to keep pushing on here. Just the 2 laps to go, laps 29 and 30.
Well, I think he's gone into pits. He's in the pits.
Last pitting.
I mean, let's keep an eye on this, because we've got Brett Wilson only 17 seconds behind here. Martins hasn't pit, so this seems a bit odd from Lazuardy. And here comes Wilson down the main straight now. He's going to jump himself up into... Is he going to get by? Yeah, he has as well. So up into 4th place and onto the podium. I mean, Lazuardy, he still sat 3rd in class, so he's still on the podium. So good result still. But I'm just a bit surprised he's pitted. He's got a Thrasher in overall 6th place in 4th in class. Only 3.4 seconds behind now, though. So he's under a lot of pressure, I think. Now he's closing these last couple of laps.
Yeah, I did not know he pitted, and it's completely bizarre that he seems to be the only McLaren that has had to pit twice. It just dropped off my screen again, Fany, at the moment, so not sure what's happened to him. He's just disappeared from me.
Yeah, I've got him at the moment. He seems okay, so yeah, just a bit odd. I mean, it literally was just a splash of fuel, 3.9 seconds, so no tyres, nothing, just... Perhaps he just felt like he was going to be a little bit short, and rather than running out of fuel, he thought he'd give it a little top up and make sure that he picks up a podium. I don't think he counted on losing a place to Brett, though.
No, it's bad tactical error by Fany, it has to be said. Couldn't have changed his mapping down, not sure, but yeah, he's cost him that position, and he's still not looking too racy, if you ask me right now.
Well, and actually another little surprise, we've got Bocade as well. He's has he started? No, he has had his second stop. We missed that. But Hwang's 15.1 seconds.
Hang on, Fany's just tried to enter the pits again and has actually missed pit entry. So we'll stick with this with Fany on the last lap. I don't know why you would want to come in again, but he's obviously got something major wrong.
Yeah, let's just have a look at, I mean, just to run through what's going on. Bocade is 14.9 seconds clear for the lead in the GT1 class, and Lazuardy's lifting down the straight, or is he running out of fuel?
He's gone. He's running out of fuel. I've no doubt. That's just crazy by Fany. I'm not sure what he's done there, but he's had that extra pit stop, short fueled, what did we say, 3.5 seconds, was looking at pitting again then, and he hasn't even made half a lap. Probably should jump on board our race winner.
I was about to say, here comes Bocade through the final 2 corners to take another victory in the GT1 class. Fantastic consistency again. Come under a little bit of pressure halfway through that race from Marcus, but held out strong for another win.
Yeah,
consolidates his position in the championship.
Yeah, another first place for the Aussies in the Corvette. Marcus Hwang, he'd be happy with that drive. He could try and stir it up a little bit with the short fueling and the pit stop. But second place for Marcus Hwang, great effort by him with a fast lap of 41.4 early doors. So a good result for him too. Going back to where is...
Yeah, we've got Martins just crossing the line now as well, so takes victory in the GT3 class. Congratulations to him. I am pretty sure that's his first race in this series, so debut victory. I have to say thank you very much, he will be thinking. So I'm pretty sure he'll be back. He obviously likes this series now. It's always good when you get you in. Brett Wilson though, second place in class. Great result for him. Brenton, my timing screen is going crazy at the moment.
Well, jump on board with Fany Lazuardy, and that's just the tragic tale of the races right there. Just completely out of fuel. Yeah, what this has done though is given Charles de Sierra another position, so congratulations to Charles, bringing it home in 6th overall, 4th in class. If you offered him that at the start, that would be well accepted. So, as I just watch our host Mark Lang pushing our sorry friend Mr. Lazuardy around, he'll be so disappointed with that result. Stephen Bocade, our winner, congratulations to him in the Corvette. 52-minute race for 30 laps, so good effort there. 15.1 seconds ahead of our second place, Marcus Hwang. Andre Martins, welcome to the series with 31 seconds off of the Corvettes, but a class win in the McLaren. And what was, I believed, a GT3 should have been dominated by the McLarens. Brett Wilson brought his BMW to second overall in class. First of the BMWs, 39 seconds back. Jacek Frazek had a great battle with Fany, and Jacek had something that Fany didn't have at the end, that's called fuel. 5th place, 44 seconds back. Charles de Sierra, fantastic recovery, as we just discussed, in 6th place. Min Park, 7th in the BMW. Halabi in the first of the roughs in 8th place, he'll be happy with that. Yours truly in 9th, still talking about it to those who care to listen, from 27th on the grid. Cashed in on Fany's last lap incident there, so I was actually lucky enough I didn't get lapped, so picked up another spot. Fany was able to keep a top 10 spot in front of Bernie Weimers. Peugeot, just I don't know about Peugeot tonight, just didn't really seem to be in it at any stage. 12th, and then a lot of the cars who were involved in the first lap accident. Huang, O'Brien, a good recovery by him into 14th. Alex Chung from the rear of the grid, 15th. Brett Woods, Dick Lee, Gregory Ekkel, a fantastic effort with the Ford GT, 11th. Considering he started in 33rd, he'll be wrapped with 18th. Christopher Buffet had a few problems even up until the last lap. Mark Lang, our host, dramas throughout. Kwon in the BMW dramas. Noble had dramas with about 5 laps to go, spun and put into a wall. David Swan, plenty of problems. Warren Pickering, we saw him getting caught up in Kevin Hwang's mistake on turn 1, back on lap 24, I think it was. Lenderman, I'd love to know what happened on that out lap. It was a shocker. Timothy Ballinger, frustration for him. Scotty Goodman, all the way down to Aaron Pearce, caught up terribly in that first lap. So, a good result for Bocade Huang, no doubt. Fantastic result for Martins, and a great result for Charles de Sierra, who had to be said had a shocker of a race. However, had a fantastic race.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I look at the driver's standings as they are now after that race, he extends his lead. 97 points compared to Lenderman on 69. So, yeah, that's a tasty little gap. And Frashak up into third, Dongwood Gang down to fourth, Warren Pickering is fifth, Tobias, who we didn't see today, and then you got Brett Wilson in seventh, Alex Cheney again we didn't see, Harrison O'Brien not really great today, Tim Jackson, he wasn't racing, Lazuardy 11th. Do you know what, Lazuardy, if he'd have picked up a podium, got that fuel right, he could have found himself in about 5th place now overall in this championship. So Andre Martin's first race, as far as I know, 12th place overall. So that's a crazy amount of points. What's that? It was nuts. So huge points for him.
Considering the prize at the end of the series is so big, it's coming down already. It would appear to a two-way battle, isn't it, with Lenderman and Charles de Sierra. And if you were going to pick between the two at this stage, even though the Sierra's got that lead, Lenderman just seems to have that more consistent pace, but gee, Lenderman just opens himself up to silly mistakes and lets Sierra back right into leading this championship.
Right, well, obviously we've got no interviews because we're just looking back at this race, but yeah, well, for me it's Saturday morning and I normally do the broadcast on Saturday morning, so tune in just a matter of hours. This will be going on YouTube as soon as it's finished processing, which won't be a great deal of time. Apologies for not getting it up a little bit sooner. But I have to say, it was a pretty enjoyable race. I'm glad I finally did get to watch it. And thank you for joining us, Brenton. I'll see you in a few hours' time, I guess.
Not until you tell me who your driver of the day is first, please.
The driver of the day. Well, if
I'll just mute for now. Hang on. Okay.
By the sounds of that, if I want you in the commentary box with me later on, I better give it to yourself. But I will take nothing away from the performance of that top 10 result from where you were on the grid as well, in what is arguably the underperforming car in that class as well. I mean, one other sort of shout that perhaps I ought to give to as well is to Charles as well, because he was involved in that first corner crash and did fight his way back. But he's had driver of the day more than once. So yeah, well done, Brenton.
Oh, that would have been tough, but I'll take that. 27th on the grid to 9th in the race with no practice. Stayed on the lead lap, mate. Like I said, I'll be telling my grandchildren about this race. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Where are we later? We are at Virginia International Speedway as well. Oh, that's a tricky track, and yeah, put a foot wrong there, and you're gonna know about it. So, right, yeah, watch this. This will be, like I say, this will be going up just probably a few hours before the start of next race. So hopefully, those that you are subscribed to Apex Racing TV, you think this is entertaining, tune into the actual live broadcast. More of our overlay and replays and all that kind of good stuff will be working. But yeah, Brenton, thank you for joining me. I will catch you a bit later on. But to everybody, PitTalk Asia. .com GT series from Watkins Glen is wrapped up and done, and we will see you in a few hours. Thank you very much for watching.